Well, here we are. We're in March, and I am in the Bahamas. No, actually, I'm not. I'm actually at my house this morning as I'm recording the monthly chat. I'm using a virtual screen, which I do not believe makes my face look any better. But I wanted to give you aspirations for what's coming. We're coming up to spring. The time will be changing soon. The birds, I hear them in the morning. We had a beautiful Sunday, warm weather this past Sunday. So spring is upon us. So I'm very excited. And so hopefully you won't be looking at my face. You'll be looking at this background, and it will bring warm, fuzzy feelings over the next 30, 45 minutes as update you on some things going on here at Friends Homes. So lots been going on as always. Right now I want to start out with COVID. Very excited. We just finished our third Cova Clinic this past weekend and Monday, and it was very successful. So we have ended up about 98% of our residents have been received both vaccines now. We are still around 55% for our staff, which actually is really good as we talk to other communities, even hospitals, things like that. Staff participation is somewhere between 30 and 60%. So we're continuing to educate our employees. We do feel confident those numbers will continue to increase over the next several months. With that being said, I think I shared this last month. We got really good news. Our pharmacy provider, Neil Medical, is a licensed provider now to distribute the vaccine. So as new residents move in, new employees deciding they want to take the vaccine, or new employees come into Friends Homes, we will be able to use our pharmacy provider to provide this vaccine. So very excited about that. So as you know, that probably both at the West and Guilford campus, if it hasn't come out, it's coming out that we're going to start releasing or relaxing a little bit of our visitation restrictions. Governor Cooper last week reduced some of the restrictions that have been placed on us, which we're very excited about. I'll tell you, the government, CMS, and our Department of Health and Human Services continue to battle a little bit between various policies and regulations. But as long as we can continue to, just because we're relaxing, we still need to be vigilant. And what I mean by that is, as we have guests, as we have people coming into our homes and our place, we still need to practice good social distancing, wearing our mask, just being self-aware that only you know where you've been. So people coming in may or may not have been cautious as you've been. And even though you've had the vaccine, we still want to be very careful because we are not quite over this yet. So when I look at this, I want to tell you too that as it relates to the COVID vaccine, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of our residents. I'm very proud of our staff and the people that kind of supported the clinics. I was talking to someone again the other day from Walgreens, and they were sharing the fact that coming to Friends Homes was kind of good for them because most places they're going to was not as organized. The people didn't seem as responsive or as happy. And I said, well, this is Friends Homes. This is who we are. We're good people. So anyway, enough about COVID. I do think we're on the other side. And as it relates to this, another good positive thing that we're working toward is the reopening of the dining room. We're still scheduled and slated to open in April. We're working on, we've been working on for about 6 months now, what that looks like, what that feels like. And what I like to do now is give you a little taste of what is coming, because it is going to be different. It is going to be different. And I use this platform, this monthly chat with you, as a way to share with you what's going on at Friends, as well as also give an opportunity to get feedback. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about the dining room reopening, communication that's going to be happening over the next 4 or 5 weeks as we get ready for that. And what I share with you, for some of y'all are going to be like, this is great. For some of you, are going to be like, I don't like that. And that's okay. we're in a community. And when we're in a community, that means we all have to live together. Some people are going to like things, some people are not. Change is hard. So what I'm sharing with you today is my understanding of what we're working toward. I will always tell you and defer that Donna, Missy, Alex, and Carly, if I say something and it doesn't sit well with you or you have questions, you come talk to us. And if I've messed up or if I said something that's not right, trust me, Alex and Carly and Donna and Missy will tell you that. So we are one family. We're all in this together. And as I said, any change is hard. Any change is hard. So I want to share a little bit of my understanding of where we're going with our dining program and what it's going to look like. So sit back and relax for the next 5 or 10 minutes because I'm going to give you a little history and then I'm going to tell you kind of where we are. So as you know, with our construction, which I'll talk about later, we are building. We're expanding. We're building a bistro over on the West Campus. We're going to be renovating the dining room on the West Campus. We will make some modifications in the near future on the Guilford campus as it relates to dining in the program. And one of the things with the new people moving in and with the bistro and our programming, and really, to be honest with you, because of COVID, we are moving away from the buffet concept and we are going to table service. So when the dining rooms do open back up, you will be served. It will not be going through a line anymore. As a matter of fact, at the Guilford campus, we've removed the center buffet line that used to split the two main parts of the dining room because that's no more. There will no longer be self-service from the standpoint of for infection control and a multitude of other things. So as we open back up the dining room, going to table service, we had to make some modifications because that means we have to add more staffing. Going to table service obviously takes a little bit more manpower. So we're adding some more staffing, trying to get them trained on that. So I do ask for your patience as we go through the reopening, because some people are going to be learning, the proper ways of hosting and serving a table and taking orders and expediting that. And so with the opening of the bistro eventually and some other things, with this buffet going away, and remember, I've probably been saying this for at least 2 years, the buffet concept is where you go in and you pay a price, and that price gives you choice. But it's not meant for you to take anything home. You go in, you eat what you want to eat, and you leave. And the way our contract is set up, you get X meals a month. And every time you go into the dining room, whether you eat one little thing or you eat till you are, blowing up, it's just considered a meal. There was no monetary dollar amount applied to it or anything like that. Now, where there was a monetary amount applied to it is when we had residents that would go over or want to buy an extra meal, not for another full month's worth of meals, but they used all their meals and they just want to buy an extra meal, or they had a guest come in and they want to buy a meal for a guest and the price is $10, right? That's the thing. Again, that affords them the whole complement that a buffet provides. Again, it does not provide takeout. It does not provide takeout. Now, with the buffet concept, a lot of y'all may have never even thought about cost. You should, but you may have never thought about cost. And the $10 is really kind of where we've landed, because in our situation, some people eat more and some people eat less. And what it works out to be, we could charge $10 because that's just how it works out. Now, one of the issues that we have, and whether you realize this or not, for some of you, you're going to be like, he's talking about me. Others are going to say, I don't know who in the world he's talking about. Sure is not me. But we have a significant amount of residents at friends' homes that does not utilize all of their monthly meals that are allotted to them. And so if they're not using those meals, that's allotted to them, that reduces our cost. But in essence, if you've got people that are eating a lot, so when they go into that buffet and they're eating everything, that increases costs. Well, when you average two together, you come up with this beautiful $10. Well, the program's changing. The program is changing. And we can debate all day long about the fairness of the program changing, but the facts are the facts. The program is changing. Our dining experience, our dining options, the fact that we're moving from buffet to table service is happening. And so when you take all this in consideration and you think about the future and you think about when the bistro opens, what's a meal? Can I go to the bistro and what's a meal? And so where we're going starting in April is we're going to a la carte pricing. And we've been talking about this again for 2 years, 3 years. It's been coming, and guess what? It's here. It's here. So we're going to a la carte pricing. There are a multitude of positive things with a la carte pricing. It's a lot. It gives you more flexibility, it gives you more choice. In a lot of ways, not in all ways, but in a lot of ways, it also gives you more buying power, right? Because it gives you choice on what you do, what you buy. So in April, when you go into the dining room, we're going to have a menu. And that menu, for the most part, is going to have a la carte pricing. It's going to tell you what things cost, like what a side costs, what a dessert costs, what a salad, soup, action stations, things like that. Now, the dining team is going to put together on this menu a combination of a la carte items and make them a special. All right, we'll call it a daily special. So when you go in, and it's kind of like anything else, if you buy everything a la carte, it can be very expensive. When you have a special and you combine a la carte items together, usually there's value in that. So this daily special is going to be a combination of a la carte items, and it's going to be at a certain price point. So over the next 3 or 4 weeks, Carly and Alex and a team are going to be meeting with the residents, with you, in small group settings to talk to you about the reopening plan, as well as getting a little bit more into the pricing and how the new menu system is going to work. And we want to use these smaller groups to really give you an opportunity to hear your concerns, hear your question, hear your voice. I will be very straightforward. There are going to be people that are going to have problems with it. It's just anytime I could tell you anything, and 50% of y'all are going to say I like it, and 50% are going to say I don't like it. The goal of what we're trying to accomplish now is not be 50-50. I mean, it's again trying to build a concept of consensus and trying to get the majority of people on board and making sure that we're hitting the majority of people. We will not hit everybody. I apologize if you're one of those people that some of the things we're getting ready to do are not going to be favorable in your opinion. But the facts are, we are a community. We are stewards of our resources that you pay for, and we are putting a program together that supports that program and continues to maintain our services that we provide, as well as controlling the cost, again, which you support. So with all that being said, when you go in and when you see this new menu, you're going to see a la carte pricing. You're going to see what the daily special is for that meal period. So that is a combination of items, of a la carte items, into what might constitute a meal. And again, for all of you, you have a contract with us. And if you read that contract, it says that you are provided meals per day. We can get into a debate about what a meal is. For a long time, a meal has been a buffet, right? That's what it's been. The contract doesn't say you get a buffet. The contract says you get a meal. But that's the way our system was set up. It was a buffet style. The buffet style is going away, right? So new day, new style. So with that, we're going to put together a daily meal special. if you will, and that will pull together several a la carte items. It will not be a buffet. So the a la carte, the daily special is not going to be, oh, whatever you want, one price. It's going to be a combination of a la carte items at a set price. You also are going to see our good old standard standbys will always be there, which is what? I'm going to pause here for a second. Baked chicken and some type of white fish. Those are always going to be on the menu. They're always going to be always available. So that doesn't go away. So if for some reason you do not like the daily special, you always have your baked chicken and your baked white fish as a go-to option. Another thing that we're looking at doing outside of that daily special is to have an action station, which that action station will, I'm making this up, stir fry, shrimp stir fry or chicken stir fry, whatever you do with stir fry. We also are looking at doing a chef weekly special. And this is going to be something that is a little bit more, well, special. So I'll give you an example. At West, they're getting ready to get a new chef. His name is Nick. He is coming from Charleston, South Carolina. And my understanding, he does a mean crab cake. As you know, if you know Charleston, crab cakes and things like that. So he may come in and say, hey, I want to offer this week a crab cake entree special. So there'll be some sides, whatever. And he might say it's $14 or $15. You don't have to eat that. You don't have to eat that, but it's going to be the special. So if you want to treat yourself and that, you can partake in that. If you're at Guilford and you want to go over to West and enjoy that, you can do that because all of our dining venues will be open to our residents. During COVID, it may be a little bit more restrictive, but outside of COVID, you know, it's obviously it's going to be fully on. In addition to that weekly special, we're also the plans is to have a weekly entree salad special that will have some type of protein that goes with it. So we may, again, I'm not a chef, so I can't even tell you the names of these salads, but it would be a very like a dinner size entree size portion of a salad with some type of protein. Maybe that protein is salmon, maybe that protein is shrimp or some type of beef or something. So going in, you're going to have choices, right? You're going to have choices. And we're excited about that because one of the things we've heard, not only from you, but also people coming in, is they want good food. They want consistently made food. And they want a sense of value, right, for their meals. And that's what we're working toward. That is what we're working toward. And so one of the things that I will say, not only that we struggled with, but a lot of retirement communities struggle with when it comes to dining program is unlike a restaurant where they have a set menu. I mean, they have like 30 or 40 items and that's what they do. That's it. So when you go in there, you know, their steak is their steak or their chicken piccata is their chicken piccata because that's what they make. Well, for us, every lunch and dinner has a different, I mean, it's a new meal. It's a new meal that our cooks have to learn how to make, cook, everything else. And that's a little bit of a struggle when you're trying to perfect from a consistency standpoint, quality, everything else. I believe the products we're buying are quality. I do believe that, but we're working on our consistency. So as we work on that daily special, that one daily special, then so let's just pick on it that today is meatloaf. That better be the best meatloaf you've ever had. Because guess what? For that daily special, that's all they're making for lunch is that meatloaf. They're focused on that meatloaf. They're not focused on a meatloaf and something else. But then you got another chef. All they're focused on is that action station. So that shrimp stir fry. That's all they're focused on. And then you got the weekly special, that crab cake that I told you, or that entree salad. You got them. They're focused on that. So what we're what we're going to do with our new dining program is that we are going to perfect our method of preparing food for you so that it is going to be consistent. And so we got quality product. You're going to know what you're going to get coming in. And our ultimate goal that we are striving for is that we want you to be so proud of our dining program that you can't wait to bring your family, your friends, loved ones to come eat with us. That's what we're going for. That's what we're going for. And to do that, to accomplish that, things have to change. Things have to change, and they're going to change, and they are changing. So as you come in, again, you'll get your menu, you'll have choices. So one of the things that we have struggled with for the last 6 months, to be honest with you, is for our residents that used to never have to think about how much something costs. They just come in and they eat, which is nice. It's very nice, but it limits you in a lot of ways. And I've shared this with you before. You know, the way Friends Homes is, we're a fee for service. You bought into a retirement community that says, I want to pay a fee and I want certain basic elements provided to me. If I want enhanced items or services, uh, I know they're available and I'll pay for it. So rather you go to some, like the community I came from, everything, pretty much everything's included. For example, medical transportation is included. Weekly housekeeping is included. You actually get gray stays in the healthcare center. So a lot of people say, oh, that's free. What did mama always teach you? Nothing is free. So that cost for those items is embedded in the entrance fee they paid. It's also embedded in the monthly service fee that they pay. Whether they use it or not, they're paying for it. Our community is not set up that way. It's not set up that way. You did not buy into an all-inclusive. You bought into a community that provides basic good services, has additional services, and rather than you paying for those additional services every month, whether you use it or not, you can get it, but when you get it, you pay for it. So your next door neighbor is not paying for you. You are paying for you for those additional services. So with that being said, the way I shared with you about 10 minutes ago, the buffet is set up. It really wasn't set up as a fee for service. It was set up that, you know, some people ate more, some people ate less. At the end of the day, there's a price. So as I told you, there's a lot of residents that don't eat all their meals. So they, in essence, were subsidizing the dining program for those that ate all their meals plus some. And some of y'all that took some food out, right? Which you're not supposed to do. But anyway, so with the current program and where we're going for a la carte, where we're going with the bistro and the way the dining program is going is a lot of these people that were no longer utilizing the program are going to start utilizing the program, right? Because there's going to be more choice. Things going to be made individually. So where if they have a dietary restriction or something like that, it's not going to be bad. For the most part, they'll have more options other than just batch cooking. So more people are going to be utilizing the program, which is a great thing. This is what our goal is, okay? So now what does that do? That drives up food costs, right? Because now we are not pulling everybody together. We're breaking things out and people are going to really be paying for themselves. So this is where I started earlier. Some people are going to win from this. Some people are going to feel like their things are being taken away from them. But the facts are, it's how our community is set up as a fee for service. So where we've been struggling is how do we put a value on what really the meal equivalent of what you've been getting. And so we went back to what we've been charging for a guest meal, as well as what we've been charging for those residents that utilize all their contract meals and want to buy an extra meal here or there. And that's $10. So that $10 is really your meal that you get is that's the credit you have for that meal. And so as we go to a la carte pricing and you go in to eat your meal, when you walk in that door, you can think about it. I have got a $10 credit that I can utilize to spend on food, whatever that may be. If you just want to go in and not get the daily special and just get the meatloaf. And I'm a simple man, so I'm going to use simple math, okay? I'm not saying this is what it's going to cost. I'll repeat that. I'm not saying this is what it's going to cost. I'm just using simple math. So let's say that meatloaf by itself is $5. You go in, and again, your contract meal has a value up to $10. You go in and say, you know what? I just want your meatloaf. That's all I want. And actually give me 2 orders, because I'm going to eat one of it now. I'm going to take the other one with me. Because if I did not share this with you, when we go to a la carte pricing, guess what? You're buying your food and you get to take it with you. So that was another thing we heard from a lot of residents. We don't like the fact that we cannot take food out. We're changing that. We're changing that. So now you go in. So if you go in and get 2 orders of meatloaf, and again, hypothetically, let's say that meatloaf by itself costs $5. You want 2 orders, that's $10. Smart man here. And what I just tell you, the value of that meal is that you get per your contract, $10. So no cost to you. But what I say to you about 10 minutes ago about Chef Nick that's going to do that crab cake weekly special. Well, I can guarantee you that crab cake, which is going to be excellent, is not going to cost $10. It's going to probably cost $14 or $15. And it's going to be, kind of wrapped up maybe with another couple of other a la carte items, but it's going to be a 14, 15. And you can say, wow, that's a lot of money. And what I would tell you is, no, it's not. I don't know the last time anybody's gone out to eat at a restaurant. For me, it's been about a year, but $14, $15 for a crab cake is not, it's not a bad deal, especially Chef Nick's crab cake sandwich. So that price point is going to be value compared to what you would have to pay when you go out in the community, like a village tavern or something like that. You don't have to buy it, but let's say you want to buy it because you know what? You like crab cakes. So I just shared with you under your contract, your meal value is $10. If you order that crab cake special, and let's say for simple math, that is $15, you get a $10 credit. So that means it's going to cost you $5. So that $5 will roll into your monthly bill. It just will go on your dining dollars, you will, and it will roll to your bill that you owe $5. Some of you are like, that's not a bad thing. Some of you are like, I ain't doing that. And you have choice, so you don't have to do that. So just remember, we're adding choice and value. I don't want to take up too much time for all of my breakfast eating people because you've been going in and getting breakfast, and that's been constituting a meal. But if, as you know, breakfast is one of our cheapest meals that we have out there. So now when you go in and you get your breakfast, maybe that breakfast value is only $4 or $5 or $6. And what did I share with you? What is your amount for each meal? You have a credit up to $10. It doesn't carry over. You have a credit up to $10 for that meal. So if you go in and get breakfast, and let's say that breakfast was, simple math, was $5, and you leave that dining room just like you've left every day for the last 5 years, that additional $5 that you didn't utilize is gone. A meal's a meal, right? It's gone. But now, because that food value is only $5, if you want to say, hey, I like to get an extra 2 hard-boiled eggs and maybe a couple of extra pieces of bacon, you can do that because you got up to $10 value. If you want to do that, you can do that. And then you can say, you can use those hard-boiled eggs and maybe that couple extra pieces of bacon to make an egg salad sandwich. I'm not sure. It's going to give you a lot more choice. So we are hopeful that a lot of you are going to see value to this. If you go into the dining room and you have a good meal as part of that daily special or whatever, and you want to get an extra order of something, not the whole thing, just an extra order of something because you maybe like our asparagus and you want an extra order of asparagus. Now you can get that. And if it's within your $10 credit amount and you haven't spent that much, then that's great. If for some reason it goes over that $10 credit, you will be charged for it and it'll go on your bill. But again, it's going to be a good value and it's going to give you choice. So the team is going to be meeting with you, residents, over the next 4 weeks to kind of go a little bit more in detail about this. As I said before, I do think a lot of you are going to appreciate, enjoy this opportunities that this is going forward. I do know I'm not a dumb man. There's going to be several of you that are going to kind of want to chew me up and down, left and right. Say I have 5 heads. But when we went through this whole process, if you hear nothing else, I tell you, when we went through this whole process, it's working with the various factors that we have. The facts are going to table service, hiring more staffing to do that, trying to grow our program so that we can provide better quality, consistency, choice, be ready for what's coming with our new dining programs, going to the a la carte pricing thing. We had to do all this with dollars in mind because, again, you pay for everything. So going into the daily special, what I'm trying to tell you is when you go in and get the daily special, it will not be the full gamut of the buffet. So if you were one, I'm talking to those people that go in and they went in and for their meal, their one meal equivalent, if you were that person that went in and had the drink, had the soup, had the salad, had the entree, had the 2 sides, had the dessert, maybe took a piece of fruit, this is not going to sit well with you. What we're changing to will not sit well with you because the cost of what I just shared with you is about $16. We're not going to give that to you for $10. We cannot give that to you for $10. We will lose our shirt. If we lose our shirt, who's paying for that? That's our residents. So that special, that daily special, that $10 daily special will not give you the same, all of those items for $10. We can't do it. We can't do it. So it's going to be something less than that. It's still going to be fair. And it's going to be fair going back to the concept of a fee for service. So for those people that eat, I would say less than that, you're not going to have a problem. You're going to say, this is good. I can still come in, have a $10 meal, feel really good. And I get to take things home. This is wonderful. I get to have choice. I can get an extra serving and pay for it and take it up. Great. For those people that really utilize the buffet concept, yeah, you're going to lose out on this. And I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I'm more than happy to talk to you one-on-one. Again, Missy, Donna, Alex, Carly, they're here to talk to you as well. They're going to be meeting with people individually. But as I said, change is hard, but we're doing what we're doing for the overall betterment of the dining program and also being good financial stewards of our resources, which is your resources. So I've talked a lot about dining, very excited about where things are going. As I said, our goal is for you to be so proud of our dining program that you cannot wait to not only come and eat in our dining room, but to bring your family, friends, and loved ones. So stay tuned, and I'm excited about what's coming down the pipeline. So I want to keep going on with marketing. Things are going really well with marketing. We continue, we had about 3 or 4 sales in January with our expansion. We had about 3 sales in February with our expansion. I do believe that people getting the vaccine, getting comfortable it's interesting with the power outage that we had, well, you didn't have, but with the storm we had several weeks ago, we actually had several people that wanted to come and buy into the Villa apartments because they're going to be on generator. And from the standpoint of they didn't want to have to deal with that. So that was favorable. I know that sounds kind of weird, but we're very excited. We're getting a lot more activity. People interested. If you've been able to go and see what's going on with the construction, let me go and tell you, first of all, if you see the townhomes that are being built on Ridgecrest, if I've had one person ask me, I've had 500, is that the color they're going to be? And no, that's the color of the siding as it is. And it's kind of like it's the primer, if you will. So they're all going to be painted. So no, they're not going to be that interesting yellow, but they're going to be painted over the next couple months. So, but again, if you get an opportunity to drive by, the bridge footings and stuff is coming to play. We should start seeing the bridge builders here in the next 2 months. So very excited about that. I will tell you that the beautiful rock crusher is going to get started this week probably. So as we start excavating on the west property and moving rock to the north track, you may hear a humming noise in the background, and that's where we're going to be breaking up a lot of rock and crushing it and spreading it. But that noise means progress. So we're very excited to get these men quit moving dirt around, and let's start seeing something vertical over on the west property. The parking lot on the Guilford campus, yay. The pavement's been done. I think it's been striped. They will be moving that fence back here very soon so that we can have access to those 40 or 45 spots. I shared this with you before, though, for about 2 weeks, coming up very soon, for about 2 weeks, we're going to have to close the access road as you're coming down and you're passing Fox on your left and you start going down the hill where the Woolman building is. We're going to have to close that little section off for about 2 weeks because we're going to do a tie-in from the new road coming in and then connect it to where the Woolman building is. We're going to change some parking around there. So that's 2 weeks of inconvenience. So although I'm giving back 45 spots, we're going to be inconvenienced for another 2 weeks, and then that'll be opened back up. So I can't thank y'all enough for your patience with lack of parking, but we're almost there. So just please stay tuned with that. I will tell you that we just had a really good meeting with the city of Greensboro yesterday about closing the entrance off of Arcadia coming into our campus right there between Claire Costner's house and the marketing house. So again, that will be forthcoming probably in the next 2 to 4 months as we open up the new boulevard entry coming off Ridgecrest. Actually, this can probably be more like 4 to 6 months. Once we open that new entranceway off of Ridgecrest, we'll be closing that access road off of Arcadia. So just want to let you know, we did talk to the city. They were supportive of that and recommending that. So I want to make you aware of that. Timeline wise for construction, things are still moving. Hopeful that new residents will start moving in around the August, September timeframe on the Guilford campus, wrapping that up around November of this year. The Wellness Center, we're still on kind of November, December of having that wrapped up, the new Wellness Center on the West Campus, which everybody is allowed to use, and that includes the bistro. Then we will start the main dining room renovation at West, probably November, December this year, wrapping that up next summer, fall of 22. And then on the new 73 units on the farm, that should be, those houses should start coming online late fall, early winter of 21, and then wrap up around the summer with the new villa apartments the summer of 22. So although we've had a lot of rain, for the most part, still on track, still very hopeful. So very excited about that. I want to kind of wrap up because I've talked a lot. I'm sure you're tired of listening to me. I had a great conversation yesterday with the City of Greensboro Parks and Rec Department. You may recall that we've entered into a relationship with them to build a trail connector from the Friends Homes property connecting to the Bicentennial Greenway. This is about a 2-year project. We're extremely excited. It's about 3/4 of a mile between our property and the Bicentennial Greenway. So we met with them yesterday talking about the new bridge that's coming in for our property. How do we give our residents access off of that north track onto the trail system so they could then connect up to the Bicentennial Greenway? It was a very productive meeting. They're going to have a public phase discussion and probably within the next month or two. They've hired a company to do a feasibility study as far as laying it out, cost, everything else. They are looking for some grant money to help support it. Our hope is that we'll have this connector completed at the same time we're opening up our new road connector. So sometime in the September of 2022, that this will be up and running. So fingers crossed on that. So as I conclude the chat for March, I just want to say thank you for all that you do. Thank you for getting your COVID-19 vaccine shot. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your continued diligence, being safe, wearing your mask, washing your hands, social distance. As we start coming out of this, a lot of grace to you and for your patience. And although we're not out of it, we do see the light. So again, as I say goodbye, let's gaze again upon my virtual background and look at that water and the beautiful sky and the sun, and know that good times are ahead. So please, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, as always, reach out to me, Missy, Donna. If it relates to dining, Carly or Alex, we are here for you, and we look forward to working with you and continuing to make you proud and be glad that you chose Friends Homes as your home. God bless you. Have a great day.